Good afternoon. My name is Anthony Chen, and I'm with the Chambersburg Fire Department. I would first like to take this opportunity to thank the members of City Council, members of the audience, and any other distinguished members that may be in attendance tonight, and thank you for allowing me to present this information. To give the audience a general idea, recently there's been a new threat to face our community. Railroad companies have been offloading and transferring ethanol fuel from railroad cars onto tanker trucks that will utilize roads here in our local community. This practice has little regulation, and it is a needed resource here in the area. We have reached out to the railroad companies, and while they're compassionate to our concerns, this type of activity is not going to stop. Therefore, City Council has requested that the department look at opportunities to enhance our fire protection that is given to the local community while still keeping conscious of the budget. This new threat came with a sudden pace that does not allow the budget to react as appropriately. To keep the taxpayers' money spent appropriately, we're going to make some changes in the department to handle these new risks and also provide different types of fire protection services. This presentation will be reviewing these risks and also what the department is going to do using methodology to prevent these fires or other hazards which may threaten the community. This large amount of material that is coming into the area and being transferred from one container system to another has the opportunity for spills or releases. We have a lot of local ecosystems here with our rivers and creeks, and also our population is densely settled here in the local downtown area near the railroad tracks. A release or a spill must be contained. Now, this release and spill requires certain material, being that it is a ethanol, a fuel substance. What also another risk that is associated with these releases and spills is the potential for fire. It is a flammable material, and then once this material is on fire, it can spread rapidly, and it also requires usage of specialized firefighting equipment such as Class B foam to help control or extinguish. This Class B foam that is required to use on flammable liquids, the department currently does not have enough stockpile or access to handle the threat of a rail car spill or multiple tanker trucks that may catch on fire or have a release. Also, the spills and releases may need certain type of absorbent material. Again, this is another piece of specialized fighting equipment that the department just does not have the on-hand quantity needed to handle this issue. So the risk of the spills, releases, and the fire, and then not having enough equipment are three types of additional risks that are now faced into the community. Also, this threat is unfamiliar to the area. It's unfamiliar to the local fire department and also to the local community. Just as with smoke alarms, local community has some idea and a method of monitoring to prevent against fires. The Chambersburg Fire Department recently, in conjunction with the American Red Cross, was conducting the Sound the Alarm campaign. The Sound the Alarm campaign was distribution of smoke detectors in residences, going door to door to install, handing out information, ensuring that the families had fire escape plans, all at no cost to these individuals. So, the actions that are going to be taken is first, education. Education by the local department will be one of the first steps. In conjunction with the railroad companies and specialized individuals who are specialized in responding to hazardous materials. The department members will attend a training and gather information so that this information can then be transferred to the citizens and local businesses of the area. Once this information is compiled, documents will be created, such as handout and flyers. These handout and flyers will be distributed through postage and also in-person meetings and department activities that are being held. Just like when the fire department goes to local schools and interacts with the students, instead of just solely looking at fires, they will also talk about risks, what to look out for, and what to do if there is a spill or release into the local area. Once these activities have taken place, it will start to become part of the culture and it will be more familiar of a risk, and the local community will know what to do and will be able to keep themselves out of harm, requiring additional resources to rescue them. If those individuals are able to shelter in place instead of going out and becoming victims in need of rescue, then the department can focus on the spill itself or other activities rather than having to make these additional rescues. So the first action is empowering the community, enabling the citizens to then protect themselves, have awareness, and be more informed about the new risks. After this has taken place, the training will also be able to give responders a better idea of what equipment is needed to handle these threats. So the equipment will then be rented until a later time when determined if for next year's budget or if the process is going to become permanent, then the decision can be made that the purchase of this equipment will then occur. But in the meantime, a rental will occur. And this renting equipment will be air monitors, explosive gas monitors, foam induction systems, absorbent material, any material that the department lacks but is a critical need to respond to these types of incidents. The department will then obtain, familiarize, and be ready and have available in case of an incident. This then is the second step after education, is preparing by having the resources available. Another risk that the community faces is an increase of traffic. This traffic can be increased because of the tanker trucks that are now in the area waiting to receive the material and head on to their designated location. And also these tanker trucks sitting idle while the transferring process is taking place. This new risk requires the department to respond and be proactive with the potential for auto accidents or other incidents that may occur on the roadway. In Kumar's 2013 book that discusses the ethanol industry as a whole, it was brought up that highway traffic incidents in conjunction with improper usage or being struck by a tool led to over 50% of the fatalities in the ethanol industry. This information shows that something must be done to handle the issue of increased traffic on our roadways. So the fire department is going to work with the public works here in the borough to make sure there is an understanding of how traffic will be affected with this process occurring on the streets, and also looking at the standard operating procedures and guidelines from the department in handling incidents that occur involving one of these tanker trucks or railroad. So to start the review process, the process of ethanol being transferred from the railroad cars to the tanker trucks here on our local roadways has added additional risks to the local community. These risks being a spill or release, the large amount of flammable material being brought into the area, the potential for fire incidents, and if that flammable liquid were to catch on fire, the lack of equipment that the department currently has, and the ability to control, contain, or extinguish incidents involving the flammable liquid. It is also unfamiliar to the local community. Then the last risk being increased traffic in the area and the potential for increased incidents involving traffic and these tanker trucks. So, with these 6 risks that were listed, some prevention methods were discussed that the fire department is going to take. The prevention methods that will be used will start off with education, and this education needs to occur by seeking subject matter experts either through the railway or the railroad or other individuals specialized in handling incidents involving rail cars or ethanol fuel and what activities would need to occur. So the department would attend these trainings in the partnership, and then once they're informed, educated, and have a better idea of what to do, the material will be made for the public and the citizens, empowering these individuals and creating a force multiplier. So the department would then create literature, handouts with simple information on what to do, how to shelter in place, how to identify the risks, and what to look out for. Then the department will distribute this material by mailers, in person, or other community event-based activities. Then the department is going to acquire the resources needed to handle, contain, or control incidents that involve this ethanol liquid. This concludes my presentation, and I'd like to thank the City Council, members of the audience, and distinguished members in attendance for allowing me to present this information and reinforce that the fire department remains vigilant in protecting the local community. After the meeting, I will be open to any questions and you can find me after. Again, thank you for attending. Have a great day.